The black-furred rat folk sits at the alchemy desk in the catacombs below Sanctuary, blankly staring across the room. It's already finished reading Peter's alchemical notes, so as it sits, a book on Renister's bed catches its eye. The book is bound in black leather, a symmetrical cross, 2 spread draconic wings, and the head of a dragon are plastered in platinum on its front. 4 words in a language it doesn't understand are written below this iconography. It hops down from the stool, walks over to the bed, and begins to read. That rat folk is an android, born from the sphere and a bit of Peter's blood. Peter and the rest of the party are outside in the water-soaked streets of Lowland, having just finished hunting down a pair of vampire spawn after they attacked Sanctuary. We cut to the party having just finished resealing an angry dwarven spirit and staking one of the vampire spawn. So yeah, there is a staked vampire, a bit around.
All right.
Spirit in a necklace. You have the necklace, Diego.
You two figure out what to do with the necklace.
If you would like to make a esoteric lore check, okay, to figure out what might have triggered, like obviously it was in this necklace, what caused it to come out?
21.
Yeah, it probably 2 things. It needs to be how magic items in this work. You invest them during your daily preparations. It means you gain the benefits from them. You are now invested with this item. It's connected to you. If you are bloodied or in great emotional distress.
I am bloodied.
Oh, yeah.
Does
combat not over? Combat's not over, is it?
No, it's a save. I need you to make a will save.
Whoop.
All right, come on, Steve.
Okay. That's a 23.
Okay. You're good.
Okay.
Since you're not in combat, I'm not going to keep you rolling every 6 seconds so someone heals you.
I'll heal him.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, essentially if you
somebody heal me.
24.
Wounded a bit, specifically bloodied, or something that would be considered great emotional distress, maybe like a high frightened condition, fling, anything like that, or just like role play, high emotional stuff, you might have to make will saves to A, not be possessed, or B, not let it out.
24 health. John.
Someone else can basically, we'll call it attune to it, invest in it at their next daily preparations if you so wish, but because you put it in, it is now under your...
Can you transfer the spirit without releasing it?
What does that mean?
Like transfer objects?
Like transfer it from the necklace to something else?
Conceivably, yeah. You would need, it's clear to you, you haven't rolled anything, but it's clear to you this necklace is like made for this. You couldn't just put it into any other random object.
No, I have this nice wooden flask that can hold a spirit.
Oh, that's true. That would probably just perfectly hold it. No saves or anything. It would probably take some time, and you would need to make a roll. But yeah,
should we
you could
head
for sure do that.
Back to Sanctuary?
Yes, absolutely.
I will
That
go
thing's
over.
technically not dead.
I know. And I'd pick up my
How long
shield.
is it deaf for? An hour?
What?
It's deaf for an hour?
What?
Yeah, the next hour. It's blind for another 30 seconds, I guess,
Okay.
or however long.
I mean, it's paralyzed either way, but... Do you take the vamp through the back entrance?
So how far do we
I'm
walk
gonna
with the
go
head on his
first to
belt
make sure
and a
all
body on
the
his
traps
shoulder?
are laid correctly?
Just like around the church.
Okay.
Just to make sure they
There's a
weren't
graveyard. We
misplaced
probably
on
just
our way
go
in.
straight in there.
Yeah, they're all good. Does anyone go through the front?
No, I wouldn't.
I would
be
go
going back
check
to it.
on Kieran.
Okay, yeah.
I
I
would also go through
I
the front.
would put the manacles on the vampire, though, behind its back.
Keep it staked still?
Yeah.
Where it's still
Watch out for the little rat thing down there.
Yeah.
I thought you meant him still. He was
Yes.
naked and running.
Yeah, so...
He was like possessed or something.
Yeah, Kier's there. He's like holding a slingshot as you guys come through, and he holds it up at you.
It's us. It's us.
Oh.
I come in and I point to 2 of the unseen servants and I say, fix these windows.
Kier looks around and, well saying Kier's way. Looks around
The
and
windows
points
just
himself.
start getting fixed.
Oh.
You can't fix windows that are broken.
Yeah, but you can
It's
like
not a
board
thing.
them up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Has anything else happened since we left, Kier?
No.
What did those things say to you? Did they just ask to come in?
They mumbled something about the good blood being here.
The good blood?
They must not have known I'm poisonous.
Yeah.
Don't think they were referring to you.
Joke's on them. No, they probably were.
Yeah.
Well, glad you're okay.
Thank you.
Did anyone else have anything happen to them? Did they look around and see the other people that were hiding and stuff?
No. No, just the windows. What is that? He looks.
You'll have to ask your friend
Okay.
Diego here.
What? Have you not noticed them? They've been here for a week.
Really? That explains so much.
I had them
The
serving
cauldron's
people.
being stirred.
I had them serving people soup.
Oh,
What do you think that broom is doing over there?
I thought we were haunted.
Thought there was a very strong breeze.
I look over in
That
the.
explains so much.
There's just like one piece of glass. Like they keep picking it up and trying to put it on the window, and it keeps falling down.
Yeah.
Like, no, board it up.
Wow. I'm gonna sleep a lot sounder tonight. Well,
You can
Steven
tell them.
looks at the
You can
broken
tell
windows,
them to
maybe
do
not.
things.
Really?
Yes.
Who's them?
The unseen servants that are working.
Okay. Good to know.
Ren took care of the things that were throwing bricks at your window, so
Huh.
we should be.
Oh, I figured. How do I know where they are if they're not doing anything?
Like they're always doing something.
Oh,
So wherever something is happening, that's where they are.
gotcha. Okay. How do they get through the hatch when I'm sleeping?
Very carefully.
They're unseen. They do some things that are unseen.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
You don't see them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you.
Also, you're a very heavy sleeper. I sneak out there all the time.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
He keeps getting knocked unconscious because you're lifting the bed.
Bangs his head on the headboard.
But such a heavy sleeper. He's
Yeah,
like bleeding out of his mouth.
he turns around to walk away. There's just a giant welt on the back of his foot.
Like a cartoon mound on the back of his head.
Oh my.
Unseen servant?
Is Run okay? Is he?
Yeah, he's just going through the other
Mentally?
Gotcha.
Physically? What's the question?
Both, preferably.
Well, jury's still out on one of those.
Gotcha. Hey, you ever gonna make those donations I was talking to you about?
Donations.
way. Eamon
To
walks away
church?
towards the hatch.
Donations? Yes. Oh, you didn't see them?
No. Oh, the servants? I thought they were unseen. Are those the donations? We don't really donate people, but they're not. Are they?
No. I put them in that corner over there. In that
Okay.
bag.
Roll deception.
He just says that.
Yeah. Do I believe you?
22?
Oh, my bad. Some probably. I figured it out. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's probably that.
Hey.
It's probably that rat Peter. He probably moved it.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he took some.
So, yeah, you all go downstairs.
Yeah, I'd be like hucking him.
Is Umbra still down there?
Yeah, he's sitting. He's sitting just at your desk. Waiting.
He's kind of like an unseen servant. Except he's very seen and creepy.
I don't think he's that creepy.
Yes.
I'd be
Yes, he is.
I'd be
Would
like,
you like me to be unseen?
No, not right now.
Affirmative.
I'd be binding the vampire to a chair.
Okay. He looks to it. The vampire looks to you. Should I consume?
No.
Affirmative.
What happens if you consume?
I consume them.
Nothing else happens?
He kind of like holds up his hand, and there's this, from his palm out, this pulse of like purple magic. And his hand glows a little bit, and he says, I learn. And he puts it away, closes it.
Ah. But you don't really like him right now anyway, huh?
Do I displease you?
No.
What would happen if we told you to self-destruct, or if he told you to self-destruct?
We're not saying that. Just if we were.
Well, he's not going to listen to me. He can answer me, but he can't. He's not going to follow my orders.
I would self-destruct.
How big of an explosion would it be?
I do not know.
If you had to guess, 1 block, 2
You
blocks.
see the like lines again? 1 mile.
Take him out in the country, put her in a
He
ditch.
holds up his hand like almost like it's a blade, and he says, "Shall I?"
No.
Affirmative.
I don't like how
Okay.
much power Peter possesses now.
Is there anyone that can override my controls?
Unless you state so, no.
You have a
Not that-
mile-long radius.
You do
Seeking
have a
a
mile
bomb.
bomb.
Not that I'm aware of.
Thank you.
This makes things
Let's go blow up the
complicated.
treasury and rob
Where's
it.
the final boss? We're gonna send you there.
For everyone except Diego, because Diego wasn't there, I will say of note, when he holds up that blade, he points it at roughly around where her heart was, which is what Kuhara did when she self-destructed.
Which
She
was
stuck it
not
right.
a mile.
And correct, yeah, it was not a mile, but it seemed like
Also
the
1,000 times
motion
less
would
complex.
be very similar. But yeah,
He doesn't have a limp either.
You've learned how to create snares. Have you learned anything else about alchemy?
yes.
Okay.
Should we?
Go ahead and start creating elixirs of life.
I will need supplies.
I'll get you more supplies.
Affirmative.
Okay, just for 1 second.
Is there any other like texts down here? Poems, books?
Anything I have would be like
He'd pro-
alchemy based.
He'd probably know. There's probably scripture down here, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Might already read.
Well, always looking for followers. Yes.
You find him upstairs making donations.
Probably to give him some sort of morality, if such a thing is possible.
Go ahead and read any book you find here.
I have.
Okay.
You have read the Book of the Soul?
Yes. He recites a verse.
Well, I say
So
better,
that's how
but
it goes.
I said that one to you last week.
Yeah, but the accent.
It does get a little heavy.
So, is this thing undeafened yet, or is it still deaf? The vampire.
Probably not. I mean, it's an hour, right? You guys
Yeah, we'll just
got
give
here.
it time.
You can
I'll-
wait though.
I'll just wait till it's.
I know Russian sign language.
By the way, I pull out the bell that I found on the hag.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't know if anybody saw me take that.
No,
What
I
does
think you
that
distinctly
do?
just pocketed it.
What is that?
This is what the hag was using. That's why we couldn't hear anything inside the cavern. And I shake it and makes no sound. Like it just made an invisible
Like
area.
a dog whistle.
No,
Oh.
not like a dog whistle. But if you were to walk far enough, I believe it would be 20 feet. Really? I thought it was bigger. Yeah, 20 feet.
It's probably enough to maybe a little smaller than the room.
Yeah.
Probably a little smaller.
I think 20 feet's a little smaller than you gave it credit for in terms of like 3 people living in a space consistently.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's 20-foot
But yeah.
radius, correct?
Well, no. It's a 20-foot. It's a 20-foot cube.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's
It would not be hard to have all of you in the vamp or whoever within that. You could even, if you so choose, send Umbra outside of that so he does not hear what is being said.
Okay. I
Do I get
will.
any-
Have him remain in the room.
I would hook my normal silver chain above like a beam, like a roof ceiling
Rafter.
beam,
Mhm.
and I would hook part of it onto the manacles and basically
hang
dangle the vampire in the air.
Yeah.
Are there any haunts or things around?
Yeah, the necklace
But
that you know contains the spirit.
what
Other
are
than
they?
that,
Or like, can you describe again what a haunt is, or like what I
a
see?
haunt is a trait, just like emotion or ice, cold air, like anything like that. It's normally related to like spirits and ghosts and stuff like that. I mean, the necklace easily triggers it because you are avidly aware that there is a literal spirit inside of it.
Anything with Umbra?
No.
Okay.
Hello, GM Jack here with the rules explanation, specifically on the Oracle feat Spiritual Sense, which Eamon took during the previous downtime level up. Basically, Eamon's magic has granted him a sixth sense when it comes to spiritual beings. Haunts, ghosts, spirits, and even some creatures from other planes are all things that might trip Eamon's sixth sense. Rolls are still involved and are secret checks, so if it ever seems like I just told Eamon about something without a roll, it's probably because of this feat. Which is why Eamon asked about haunts here. He's reminding me that he has it, which I appreciate as a DM who often forgets things. Anyways, back to the action.
So should we make a plan before this thing's hearing comes back? What are we gonna? Or what are you going to ask it, I guess?
I want to know where it came from. This is a minion. It was created by a greater vampire.
Could it have been... you found... Not this one, I guess. Is it possible that it might not remember in the same way your memory's a bit foggy?
It's possible, but I would imagine it would still be able to tell me who its master is if it was sent out.
Yeah.
Because this thing didn't have to... Did it have to die to become what it is?
To add clarification to Renestier's knowledge of what you could add insight to this, as a vampire spawn, it probably has little to no idea of who or what it was before it died. Depending on how long it's been alive and its access to blood, which has probably not been great, the good quality blood, it will at very least probably know some of what's happened since it was created. Again, you don't know how long that was.
Sure.
But, and like I said, it's not had the steadiest flow of quality food, so to speak, which can cause... especially lower blood strength vampires to deteriorate mentally a little bit. It would not be a jump for you to assume that might be why they attacked Sanctuary. It's just a bad move in general, probably, if they're trying to lay low, which they clearly were because you couldn't find them that easily. But the tantalization of you. I think it was alluded to a little bit earlier that it might have been Eamon's blood.
I wasn't there. It was Kier who said it to him.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. It's probably more so that the healthiest people in this area are in Sanctuary.
Gotcha.
You have magical healing. Eamon has magical healing. Kier is a competent medic. Easily the highest quality blood, even just from a normal person, would be in Sanctuary. That might be at least one of the reasons they attacked if they did do so out of spur of the moment rash thinking.
Diego also has magical healing.
Diego,
Thanks for forgetting. What?
Yeah.
You are good at lying, no?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yes,
I cock my head at him. This helps us all.
That was the joke.
Yeah, okay. So, I'm not very good at lying if you couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get
Absolutely
this
not.
joke. Yeah, okay. When we wake this thing up, I want you to make promises we will not be keeping, that we will feed it blood, let it go on its way as long as it leaves the city limits. I will be destroying it once we are done with its usefulness.
Well, I agree with all that. That's fine. I do have this, though, and I pull out the truth potion.
Ah. Do I know if that would affect him? Just based on
what trace
undead?
does it have?
What?
It should, yeah.
What?
If it can ingest it.
And if that doesn't work, I have the shrieking
Consumable,
potion.
enchantment, magical, mental, and potion.
Yep.
So,
Okay, yeah, that
Fun
works
fact.
better.
Oh, no, never mind.
unless we would like to save this for a rainy day.
We could start out by beating it out of him, and if that does not yield results, we can resort to that. But we might be able to use that on somebody more beneficial.
So what questions we're thinking? We're thinking where he's from.
What?
What's he know?
Why he came here to Wakuzana? Granted, they are bestial by nature. It could just be it had the highest amount of people and meandered its way here. Typically, something of this low quality is a failed creation of a pure blood vampire. So it had to have had a master. Whether or not it was sent here by that master is what we're trying to glean. Because if these two are just one-offs, then we have no worry. But that necklace does make me feel inclined to believe that they weren't just passerbyers.
And they haven't been here long. Otherwise, you would have noticed evidence of their feeding
100%.
beforehand.
Yes, I will say that with everything going on, we've not been here for how long has it been since we first went to the vineyard? Has it been just a week or so?
We were only gone at the vineyard for 3 days-ish.
Because we were out of town.
Yeah. You feel confident on your daily rounds that
First
corpse you found was probably
one of
at most you'd put them a day out of getting here to Lowland specifically. The rest of the city, who knows? But you are around here enough, and it's a small enough place. They have not been here long. At most, I think that was 4 days.
Okay. It was a very fresh kill. I believe that is, if not the first, it had to have been one of the first. And if that's being said, there is a lot of unknowns we can glean from him. But the main issue that I find is there seems to have been an influx of creatures relating to this, and so I don't want to count it out as just a coincidence. It seems just too perfectly in sync with
So-
what we've been dealing with.
Let's set the stage here a little bit. Let's try to entice him. Do you have any other manacles, or maybe just some rope?
Yeah, I do have a rope. So yeah, just
I have
I
a
wouldn't
rope
say
as well.
that. I would just walk over to my bag, pull out the rope, and hand it to him.
Eamon, would you like to play the role of captive?
It already knows me.
I know.
I was the one that staked it.
I don't think they're going to be very smart.
I will have to.
Spawns?
If they're sentient to answer questions, they're sentient enough to know who I
Umbra
am.
looks at you. Shall I?
That might
No.
work better. He has not seen
Also,
Umbra.
it's conscious and its eyes are open. It's just deaf.
Hmm.
So it can see us.
I didn't know it was conscious. I thought it was unconscious.
It's paralyzed, but its eyes are still open, looking
Is it?
around, right?
Yeah, what is... I guess I would probably know
yeah,
that, correct?
technically, no. It can be... You did technically stake it. Once it's staked, it's at 0 HP and it's unconscious.
Okay,
Okay.
so we
It's
can't
also paralyzed. Yeah, it's not aware of what's
So
going
we
on.
can't
Sorry.
interview it till we take the stake out?
Yes,
Correct.
That's why
Okay.
one thing I will have to do is we'll have to play a little of... I keep forgetting the term for it. It's a positive reinforcement man and a negative reinforcement man, something like that. We used to do it with the guards, but I will have to beat him a bit.
We could offer Umbra's possible reward. Or at
I
least
don't want him
a
getting too healthy.
hypothetical reward.
I thought your blood would be more enticing. I'm just thinking more of the perspective of a hungry man may not look too close at his prey when it's offered.
How intelligent are these things typically? Would it be able to recognize me, you think?
Pretty average, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
just as intelligent as a normal humanoid. So yeah, it would probably be aware that you were just fighting it.
Well,
It
we-
would probably be aware that it was just fighting all of you except Peter and Renister, maybe, because I think you got there after it was
But it's not like
conscious and blind.
it's not like I couldn't
Blind.
play.
why not just
the,
use me?
play
Well,
the card of betrayal because I don't think your blood's enticing.
I think it is hungry enough, especially at this point. If it was desperate enough to come to the chapel, we would be preferable. But I think at this point, any water
Fine.
in a desert.
Maybe you'll do then.
Umbra looks to you, Peter. He says, "What does it mean to have enticing blood?"
Nothing. Say nothing.
High blood sugar.
My guess would depend on the healthiness of the body with how healthy blood is produced. Do you have a different version?
No.
I do.
What is yours?
He's been shaking his head, looking at Diego.
O negative.
Well, guess you can't find that out because I'm not your master.
He just blankly stares.
I think in the meantime, unless you two want to assist with the interrogation, something should be done with that necklace. I don't think it should be left untaken care of.
It's in the little vial now, isn't it?
Did he already do that?
No,
No.
no one has done that.
No, it said it'd take some time, right?
Yeah, probably around an hour to do that.
I don't think that should be left unchecked.
Oh,
It
that's-
doesn't seem like something we can utilize
We
with
do
our
have
own will.
We do have some time to kill.
So me and
we
Diego.
do. It does last
yeah, I
like
was
an
gonna
hour.
say, you could probably do that. Finish it around by the time this thing becomes undeaf.
I would just hand you the vial. And then I would... basically, I would go over to Umbra, and I would just try to figure out everything that he can do. Like, I saw the blade, saw the magic. I'm just trying to take stock.
It didn't look like it became a
Oh, it
blade.
was
He
just-
just held it like a
Got
blade.
it.
Like it was... Obviously, if you hold it flat and straight like that, that's the easiest way to, like, push your hand through something. It did not become a blade.
I was trying to figure out, like, if he was in fight, what he would do, that kind of thing.
Would I be able to parse together how quickly it takes for them to regen? Like time-wise?
6 seconds.
Okay.
They get 5 health every 6 seconds.
I'll keep a count.
As I walk by, I'll just leave behind some, like, alchemist fire, some bottle, like, anything that, like, does, like, positive or fire damage.
Yeah. I mean, Umbra would tell you everything that he's aware of.
You should
has
give me a stat sheet.
decent amount of magic capabilities. Probably something you would be akin to. You would equate to a wizard. It seems learned. Obviously, he doesn't know like where he learned it. It's just innate, but it's like how a wizard does. Like he's drawing magic sigils when he does it. Around to the level of magic of a little less than Aemon, probably 3rd level spells and lower.
Okay. Any melee capabilities or?
Yeah. I mean, what would you do to test that?
I would just.
He says, or they say they're competent.
Okay. Can you sneak? Are you athletically inclined? Can you climb?
No. It says it's confident, especially after what it just did. It's competent at taking things, creating things, and lying. So basically, deception, crafting, thievery. It also has a decent data bank of some religious things now.
So because you were created from my blood, did you get anything from me besides the shape?
He does magic.
You didn't get that from me.
I did.
How?
I do not know. Can I pause?
Are we around
something?
for any of this?
Yeah, probably.
Well, did you walk more than 20 feet away?
I just walked up to him wherever he was.
Okay. Then yeah.
What?
My assumption is you are inclined for arcane magic. And that manifested in me.
Interesting.
Your notes
What?
are quite competent. I could see them translated to magic quite easily.
Okay.
Don't
you.
start cutting yourself, rat. Bleed all that magic blood out.
I assume that bothers you somewhat? Hearing that?
Yeah. It does quite a bit.
Eamon just looks at Peter and like squints and kind of tilts his head a bit,
Have I offended you?
but decides it should wait
No,
for
the
later.
information has. Not you.
Affirmative. So it is not my fault, but the information's.
Yes. You don't have to like all knowledge that you learn.
Affirmative. What do I like?
Learning.
Affirmative. Do you have more things to read?
Not at the moment, but I can get more.
Affirmative.
For now, watch the captive. Let me know if he tries to escape.
He nods. He points to Renister. Is he okay?
Yes.
Affirmative.
No! Oh, no!
So you want to put the...
No one's asked that in a really long time.
Everyone asks why is Rensteer. No one asks how.
We did. We learned you came from
No, you
halflings and an
didn't.
egg.
No, you didn't.
I would like to wait.
I'm brooding.
While we're interrogating this thing, you said every 6 seconds it heals a bit.
Mhm.
I'm going to be continually casting Disrupt Undead on it for my staff.
Word, yeah, for sure.
What does that do?
It's a cantrip, so I can just do it as many times as I want. I lance the target with energy, 1d6 positive damage, plus my spellcasting ability modifier, so it's guaranteed to do more than he can heal.
Yeah.
The target...
Don't kill him, will it?
I'm not going to kill.
No.
I would
for
wait
the
till we
sake
pull
of,
the
like,
stake out.
Since it's not...
Yes.
He's got to put the thing in the bottle first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could basically just keep it in a state of 1 HP, if you so wish.
Yeah, because it just makes fortitude save. The creature critically fails. It also becomes an enfeebled, but that's not really the point. The idea is just like it has the Disrupt
Yeah,
Undead
so it's
feat.
not all
So
the
I'd
way.
be keeping it very enfeebled.
Well,
until-
that saves my fists a little bit of trouble.
So
So
it'd
you-
just be this radiating energy coming from my staff into it.
You would like to attempt to put the spirit in this peachwood bottle. Do you know what it's made of? Did I ever tell you what it's made
I
of?
think you did.
It's
Okay, word.
It's the same thing those the secret police, like their size made out of.
Kari, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is important thing of note. Transferring it does have a risk of possession. You will need to make a will save.
Great. Well,
Anyone assisting? This is a occultism or religion check.
I can't really.
I can help with religion.
Yeah, you can actually probably do lore. You can do necromancy lore.
Yeah, but my religion is +9.
Can I help with my hatred of magic?
Lores are always better if you can do them because the DC is lower.
Okay, so vampire lore +5.
Well,
You said vampire. Or what did
no,
you say?
Necromancy.
Necromancy. My apologies. Okay.
Anyone else assisting?
I might as
Wonderful.
well, yeah.
Can I use crafting?
No.
I'll use religion.
Yeah, it's a bottle. You use crafting,
Hey.
actually.
Oof. 11.
You're literally using items. 11?
Yeah.
Okay. That's technically a success.
Oh, cool.
Well, not technically. It is a success.
23.
13.
Plus 4. Crit success and 2 successes. Plus 4.
I rolled good. So
I can never tell. I'm like waiting for the
yeah.
response of it.
Yeah, that's a 27.
And you rolled what? Occultism?
Occultism.
Okay. Make a will saving throw plus 4 circumstance bonus.
Yeah, it's like a 26.
Yes. Yeah, you are good. You get it in the bottle. All of you notice Umbra watch this as he does the numbers go over his face and the lines. Just happens.
Should
Yeah.
really talk about how much this thing is exposed to.
You put it in the bottle. It is now. You cork it, sealed completely. Important thing to note: this thing loses. Peachwood loses all of its anti-undead properties if it touches metal.
Oh.
So, like, probably keep it wrapped.
Or we could
Cloth
bury
bag.
it.
Yeah. Do you have a tomb that we could just split places in?
Yeah. Pick one. Not in here.
Not. Yeah, I understand. Not
Don't
the
touch
center
that one.
Well, I want to keep it somewhere underground where we can actually keep an eye.
No, that's fine. Just use the other room.
Oh, yeah.
We have an entire crypt
Yeah,
that's not here.
Yeah.
I would wrap it in like a thick blanket
Yep.
and
Yeah.
just stick it in the tomb.
Can you seal that tomb?
I'm so happy. I will.
Oh, the glue!
Sovereign glue, and I will seal the lid.
Okay, yeah, for sure. That bitch is on.
No one's getting in there.
You didn't notice the
amazing.
other half of the tomb is just like ripped open.
Comes out of a caulking gun. Just
So yeah, Peter seals shut a coffin with the peachwood bottle with the spirit in it as everyone else gets ready to interrogate the vamp. Eamon, you are constantly casting Disrupt Undead. What does that look like?
so from my staff, you'll essentially see this like black cloud come from it and
Let them
Cause
regen
him-
one time.
continual pain. Eamon doesn't know regen mechanics of vampires.
Give it 1 second.
Okay.
I do. I can just tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like regen it one time. They can do it more than once.
Yeah. Just let him heal himself for 1 second.
Are you going to go first then?
Take
Yes.
the stake out whenever you're ready.
So
Yeah.
start bad content.
Yeah.
I
So
would-
I just want to clarify how he is strung up.
By his legs, hands tied behind his back. So he's like
So he's
dangling
upside
himself.
down?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep.
I'm
That's
gonna
probably
be
most comfortable for him.
I'm gonna be standing behind him with Umbra, just basically watching the restraints in his hands.
Oh, behind the hanging guy.
Yeah, just to make sure like he's not getting out.
Yeah.
Pull
Okay.
that stake out.
So I'd grab hold of it, rip it out of him.
Yeah. There's like a...
I'd give it a sec, kind of like counting in my head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see the... definitely one of the arms is completely broken from what Eamon did. It starts to like reset into place and it clicks into place.
And then I'd like say to myself, like counting under my
Yeah.
breath. And then the minute I kind of give it enough time, I'm like, time to wake up. And I just like full on punch him so that he swings.
Okay, like as hard as you can.
Just
Pull it a bit
just
so
a
I'm not
heavy
killing
bag.
him. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Roll athletics or to hit, whichever you would like.
I know. I hope I don't crit him here.
Well, you can't. Well, you could. Yeah, I don't think you can kill him with a crit. It'd be pretty hard.
I would be specifying
And he can
non-lethal.
regen. Yeah, you don't
Yeah,
have to.
okay.
Yeah. I'm
So
not going to be
wake
like,
up.
you hit him too hard, he's dead. Now you don't have information.
Oh no! I'm too strong.
Yeah.
All right. 24.
Okay. Or you punch him in the chest?
Chest, yeah.
Okay,
just
yeah.
so he's like
I mean,
rocking
you
back
hit
and
it, it's
forth.
a hard thud, and he swings back. You and Umber, I assume, duck, so you don't get hit by his flailing arms. Whatever, he smacks into the back wall and then swings back forward and kind of settles,
No,
grimacing.
I'd say to Eamon.
Okay. Yeah, you would see this sort of like dark cloud form around the tip of my staff as I cast Disrupt Undead.
Yeah, and as the cloud kind of comes over him, he kind of just grit and bared the punch, but as the cloud, like literally the antithesis to what keeps him alive, covers him, he's like,
I'm smirking at him and
okay, yeah.
lean down to be at eye level with him. Now you understand the situation you're in.
He kind of gives like a basic but quick nod.
Where did you come from?
I don't know. It
close to here.
So do you know what made you?
A woman,
A woman?
I think.
What did this woman look like?
She was well dressed. Rings, shiny. Blood smelled amazing.
He kind of like shakes his head a bit, like getting lost in the clearly the state he's in. He needs to feed and the blood he's been feeding on, but he kind of shakes his head clean.
She made us come here.
Why?
I don't know.
She did not tell you what to do, or?
We were to protect a dwarf.
The-
He's unconscious in a shack. Not too far from here.
That wasn't the dwarf in your necklace, was it?
No. I didn't know about that.
Did she just give you the jewelry without you knowing? I do want to just real quickly read him to see if he's still lying to me.
Yeah, I assume everyone wants to like
Yes.
stay locked in. Yeah, I'll roll for everybody.
If I'm continually casting a spell, would I be able to do that, or you can decide? It's up to you.
Yeah, but I'll give you a circumstance penalty.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy.
Cool.
I mean, he's like I said, Spawn are kind of they're not exactly mindless in terms of like undead, but they're not quite what you would consider like intelligent conventionally. They can remember things. Depending on the quality of blood they consume, they can sometimes grow beyond being a spawn and become full-blooded vampires. But everything that like the vagueness of like what this creature is talking about does not strike you as misrepresenting or misleading. It strikes you more of like he's on death's door, hasn't been eating good blood. And in the situation he's in, it's just like this is just how this kind of creature speaks about things, so to speak. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Name, do you have a name for this woman?
No.
The dwarf?
No.
How long ago were you made? If you don't know your best estimation, something.
2 moons.
What would I be able to translate that to?
2 days.
2 days. Okay. Yeah.
It was night when we awoke. So 3 moons, technically.
Do you have,
Like 2 moons. This is the second moon
gotcha.
since they awoke, he says.
Where was this shack?
It's... Where are we?
We're near where we fought.
Okay.
I mean, he'd give you directions to it. It's essentially, I'm not gonna like go through full directions of the voice. It's like
Go past the big tree.
yeah.
So when you see the sign, it's like broken
You
down.
want to take I-80?
There's
Make sure if you see Dairy Queen, you went too far.
yeah.
Turn around.
So there's Lowland is kind of like in the corner of the northwest corner of Ward 3. The shack he describes is like in the northwest corner of Lowland, up against kind of the wall that makes the plateau that Ward 7 sits on. It's about Sanctuary is pretty central. So like it's decently far from here, but decently far is like 10-15 minutes.
Okay. So your friend didn't make it, and I'll pull the head off and just put it right in front of his. How many more of you were there? Just with the severed head in front of his face.
Just the 2 of us and the woman.
And the dwarf.
Yeah, he's not like us. He's alive.
And he like looks to probably Diego would be the closest. Well, you're casting the spell on him like hungrily. There's like a clear hunger in his eyes.
Hey,
Yeah.
pay attention.
Roll intimidation. +4 circumstance bonus.
Nat 20.
Yeah. He looks back to you and he like shakes his head, not less like at you to like clear it almost, like an action of clearing. He's like,
Sorry.
They don't concern you.
What did the woman look like?
Tunic. Nice. Looks soft. No hair.
Human elf?
What hair?
No hair.
No hair.
You can tell that like a lot of the details are like clearly fuzzy to him, and he's like trying to remember details, but that's kind of all that comes to his.
I have the necklace, right?
Yeah.
Without the dwarf in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who did this necklace belong to?
A woman.
The woman. Interesting.
Nice.
You'd say that that's who it belonged to?
I think so.
I take my glove off and I palm it and I start trying to read a psychometric presence.
Okay, go for it.
I don't know what that is.
I think it just
but that's
happens,
awesome.
right?
I think
Or
I
is that
just
a
do
check?
that. I have to go for a minute to see a face, but of the owner.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it does take a minute, so I'll update you when roughly that's passed. But yeah, you start doing that.
Yeah.
Well, did she have pointed ears? Was she tall? Was she
I don't know.
Average?
She was hooded.
Of course. They're always hooded.
So I guess she could have had a rat tail. But other than that, she was bald.
And you said her blood smelled good? She had the blood.
Like a rat tail, the hairstyle, for the record. You gave me like a dirty look, Aaron, and not the fucking. She didn't literally have a rat tail. Sorry, what'd you say?
And you said her blood smelled good, right? She had the blood?
Yeah. When she talked to us, it felt like needles in my brain.
Anyone can roll Arcana or Occultism when he says that?
Who in this room has the
Can I
nicest
roll
smelling
esoteric
blood?
lore?
What'd you say?
Yeah, yep.
Who in the room has the nicest smelling blood?
Okay.
Eamon, probably.
I'm going to let everyone roll first and I answer, and then I'll see.
3.
Is this haunt related?
No. 3?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
Yes. 19.
What did you get?
29.
Yeah, seems pretty textbook some sort of enchantment magic.
Like a
There's unless
charming kind of thing.
yeah, anything like that.
Anything mental.
Yeah, it's probably something that has to do like with charm, more compulsion than like damage. The way he talks about it seems uncomfortable, less it actually like caused damage to him. Without further context, there's no way of knowing what, but like it's clearly
in the context of vampires, do I know if that's a thing? Like vampires have
Would I be able to know that? If
What
you
do
were-
you
well with that context, yeah. Like do
Like,
they
do
have
vampires listen to their master without being charmed?
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
right? Spawn would probably...
Oh yeah,
beholden?
Yeah,
Or is
I
it
get what
like
you're
a
saying.
compulsion?
Yeah, you can roll vampire lore. You
Okay.
can roll esoteric lore. Anyone else can roll religion or arcana. Or
17.
27. Just rolled really good.
17.
Are
But
you rolling it all? Okay. 17, 17, 27. Yeah, normally vampires, like, they normally have abilities that would fall under enchantment magic, and normally Spawn follow them out of just the necessity of not being murdered instantly. If you're a Spawn, you're the lowest of the low. Anything that made you could kill you way more easily than you could ever put up a fight. So it doesn't really matter. Especially that he says that she was tasty. It would imply to you in some way that this was not a vampire, that he was at least an undead that he was speaking with. Because if it was a hidden undead, he wouldn't think she was tasty. He could have not noticed that. But the fact that she was tasty means that she was flesh and blood, for sure. Yeah. I mean, granted, a lot of stuff could have happened. They could have been created and then moved.
Then she
They
was
could have
gonna-
been created. The vampire was like in hiding and she's under like enthralled or something. It
Or
could
they're
be
in league.
So
yeah,
he
it
just
could be a lot of things.
So we're thinking he just assumes that this woman made
yes,
him because
That's
he
the only
woke up.
memory he has.
literally
'Cause
the
he
first thing he woke up and
imprinted.
saw her. Yeah, yeah. He's like my mother.
He's like a baby, a little chick.
is
yeah.
there
He
Sorry.
tries to grab Eamon's staff.
Peter asked which one of us has the most. What'd you say? Tasty blood. Looks the most
Yeah, tasty smelling blood.
Yeah, he just like shoots a look at Eamon.
it's unnerving?
This
Wait,
isn't your first time.
So why did you come after this church if you were trying to protect the dwarf?
There's good blood in here. Everything else here is tainted.
Did you get the feeling? Did you
I
get...
can smell it.
Tainted how?
I don't know. But it is not good.
I mean, it's pretty safe to assume it's probably that 99% of the people here that aren't in Sanctuary are alcoholics, drug addicts, a lot of like
He's a pure boy.
natural type
They eat fast food all the
stuff.
time. High cholesterol.
But yeah,
My blood is like 50% tea, so we're good.
I love tea.
I don't know what mine is.
Oh no.
Tea and blood. That's it for me. Steady diet.
he kind of sniffs a bit in the direction of you, Renister. And he says,
Are you one of us?
Not in the same way. I have no master that I don't choose on my own. I'm religious, okay, amen. Mr. Euphoric Atheist over here. I don't know if there's gods.
You chose your own master.
I would say that with contempt.
As
a
I'm
bit.
still
okay.
casting the spell on him,
Mhm.
this whole time is he seeming like really uncomfortable or like in pain?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, he's not comfy in any way. It's more so, well, at least, like, his openness is pretty clearly
Desperation. Animal
designated to you guys, and that this is a creature that is already on the bottom of the food chain.
It's like an animal backed in the corner.
Yeah, what places it into, like, like it's fucked already.
So as
I just want
far
to make sure there's not a way I can hurt it any more than, like, have we decided that we're good? I'm not like rolling damage to.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay,
If you
cool.
would like to,
No, it
let
just
him
does
get
1d6 plus my spell casting thing. So I'm just in case
Well,
you were
so
going
it
to
does-
have me do that.
Yeah,
I don't want to do it.
It does 4d6 because you can cast level 4 spells. It will be heightened to level 4. Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
4d6 plus 4.
Yeah.
But like just thematically, you're just keeping him at 1.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So if need be, I could just keep throwing bombs at him.
If you, yeah.
confess.
Yeah.
Confess. So as far as spawn go, in the scheme of like what we understand about souls and stuff, is this a similar situation to necromancy where this is
all
died and his soul is
all
kind of
undead
like
are like that. Yeah,
Gotcha.
Like the soul is now a vampire spawn soul, which is some would say worse, some would say better than being like a mindless undead. Mindless undead like can't be aware of the horrible state that they've been put in. Some would say that it might be worse to become one of these like lesser undead like this because if it learned enough, it would probably become aware that it was a living, breathing, functioning
that's
creature at some point, and now it's
souls
not.
forfeit
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Has it been a minute?
Oh yeah, yes it has. Face the person who viewed the item with such emotion in the first place. Associated emotion is painfully negative. Yeah, the emotion is this like deep longing for something. Like not jealousy, but like
Lust?
not lust either. I mean lust, but not in like a sexual sense.
Well, yeah.
Like more of a lust for. Yeah, it's a lust for something, whether
Desire?
sexual or not. Yeah, a strong desire
Ambition.
for something. And you see the face of the person is roughly what he described. Looks human, probably younger, middle-aged, bald. There's not really any other defining features than that.
No fangs.
No fangs. No lots of golden face jewelry, ears and nose.
Eye color?
Blue. I mean, you literally saw a mental image of it. So, like, if you see this face, you will recognize it.
Yeah.
I will tell you that.
Oh.
So you've
Seen
been
her face.
Huh? What's she look like?
What does it look like when you do that again? Do
When-
we see anything, or does
My
it just like all in
eyes,
your head?
my eyes just go pitch black is the only thing that you guys probably see, and then maybe like there's a little light of like something like of my hand touching.
Yeah.
We've seen you do this once before, right?
Yes, because I did it.
You've seen him actually technically do it a lot because you were just constantly searching in the forest.
Yeah, but
essentially.
not like the full extent.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it kind of looks like I'm downloading information. Like there's like a light that pools like from the item and just is like sinking into my hand.
But yeah.
You said you saw her face.
Yes, I saw a face. He's not far off in his description. She's probably young, middle-aged, blue eyes. She's a human.
See, I told you the truth.
He did.
Is there anything left here?
2 days. You've only came in contact with this dwarf and this woman.
He hasn't seen the dwarf, has he?
Yes, I've seen the dwarf.
One of them fed, didn't they? That's how you found him.
Did you or your companion kill?
Yes.
I figured as much. How many?
I don't know how many she did.
Is
We didn't work together.
Is the dwarf still alive?
I hope so.
He kind of shudders.
Anyone have any last minute questions before we show this man mercy?
I mean, we definitely don't have to do this if you think it's too risky.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you think
There's
it's-
like a brace on the legs. Like he tries to get free, but it doesn't work. And then he just like stops.
If you think it's too risky, it's okay. But
I'm showing him mercy.
yes, I agree.
I'm giving you a look.
and Eamon understands.
Yeah.
But
There's no.
I mean, we could have this creature lead us exactly to where it is we're supposed to go for time's sake if there is someone
You
in
could.
danger.
You could. I can.
I wouldn't
Again.
trust it.
I would.
I'm in line with Peter.
I'm a very trustworthy guy.
I, for a second, keep an eye on him, and I pull Eamon aside. I'm like, please don't.
You can step out of the.
Am I stopping my
the
spell
20
then?
foot?
We'll just start healing.
No, actually, before
I'm gonna start chucking bombs.
Just
out.
hold my staff. You can do magic, Peter.
I just turn to Eamon. I'm like, I will explain in a moment. Aiden. Who are you?
I'm your son, Aiden.
Well, I'm not here, Aiden. I'm talking to Eamon. And I just turn to this strewn up spawn and I say, find peace in oblivion. And I grab his head and snap it.
Yep.
And just pull it off.
Yep.
We need the stake back.
Should we just stake him again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Peter, you know what to
I
do.
think we
with it.
still need to stake him in order to.
Yeah, I know. I put it back in.
Maybe-
Umbra looks to you.
Maybe do this outside.
Yeah, no, don't ruin the.
He raises his hand and it just glows a little bit, faint purple.
What
He says,
what happens if you do that?
I don't know. That's why I want to do it.
What is that?
You did tell him to.
I would
lie.
like to consume.
Peter, this
Don't-
isn't in my wheelhouse. What do you think?
Do it.
Okay.
Oh.
Sick. That's all I needed. He puts his hand on it, and you see in the span of like 3 seconds, the entire vampire spawn's body turn into almost like that weird humanoid shaped code that Umbra like was formed out of, and it just gets sucked into his hand.
I'm gonna have like 2 bombs in my hand as he does this.
Yeah, I got my staff ready.
I'm just observing.
Yeah, but that's all that happens.
So what happened?
Yeah, as it goes into his hand, he kind of like blank stares for a moment, and like the light clearly leaves its eyes, and his head kind of like drops real quick and then comes back up, almost like a quick reboot. And he's like, I learned
What'd you learn?
how to walk quietly,
Ugh.
to move unseen.
Good.
I think I can become them.
Or would
The
you still,
things I consume.
would you still act like yourself?
Yes,
Do it.
I can't.
No,
No.
he said when he consumes.
Oh, when he consumes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does not revert.
Ah,
From now on, don't consume unless I tell you to.
I haven't.
that's his
Good.
whole MO, really.
Peter, can I talk to you?
You know, talk to him first.
Well, yeah. Hold.
Dwarf
Talk to
in a.
outside of the little
Shack.
circle that Diego has where Umbra can't listen.
Okay.
How about? Can you just tell Umbra to go out so we're just all in here?
Head over to.
I guess I don't
Get
know
out
how
of
well
the
he listens.
circle.
He goes out. He clearly just walks out of it, like he's out of
Mhm.
range. No subterfuge.
So, are we just going to keep letting this thing get more and more powerful?
I don't know how to feel about it. I don't know what safeguards this thing has.
I mean, if we're willing to put, I don't know, things we've deemed dangerous that are in our stead that can, I mean, clearly don't really have any moral regard for protecting life or doing anything. I mean, should we even have this?
I think so.
Because if the point's learning, we're not really learning much other than that it can just get more and more powerful and learn.
We can still learn from it.
This thing is like any other tool. It depends on the person using it. The only concern I have is if at a certain point it will be out of our control. But that is
That's what
why
I'm
I
saying. I
trust
trust-
Peter to have monitoring to it. Because as much as Peter likes to pull a fast one on me, I don't think that it pertains when the matter is life or death.
It's not that I don't trust Peter. I mean, it's Peter with an impossibly unknown and powerful weapon. It's not that I don't think he's capable or that he wouldn't do the right thing when the time came to it, but
I think the minute that this thing shows any inclination of not obeying or doing something out of toe, that we will put it down.
and until then, what?
Use it.
Well, hate to be this guy, but do we really consider it a tool and not living life at this point?
I was about to say, I think this is more of a living person than it is a tool.
And if it truly is living, then we shouldn't treat it like our servant.
I'm not.
I don't think it knows any other way.
It could learn.
It has been.
That's what we've been doing.
You just got done telling it not to do something unless you told it to.
Yeah, because
Like,
it could.
That's not teaching it freedom.
Consuming.
That
Right.
could have bad implications if he goes around and consumes things we.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Good
Well,
parents are supposed to tell kids
guys
not
are-
to kill people,
Say,
so
like any child, they should listen to their parent.
Yeah, but you guys are proving my point. If this thing, its options are it either can't be a full, free, living creature and has to obey us, then it's nothing but a slave. And I'm not a fan of that. But
But
if
it
it goes
doesn't
free,
mean can't.
like a full person in the world, it might cause havoc, which also I don't love. It seems like there's not really a good option here.
well, it's hard,
I-
it's hard to judge somebody for a crime they haven't committed.
I
yet,
do
right?
not know how I feel about these machine beings, whether they truly are life. Because it came from a machine. My eyes do not lie. But I do agree with Diego. This is more of a child. It has no bearing on the world. It's not that it is obeying out of slavery. It literally has no concept of anything else.
Yes, but if it can learn advanced concepts of alchemy in seconds,
Think of
why
what
not
else it can
learn some philosophy on freedom?
It already has.
It has read my scriptures.
Okay. I
Yes,
just don't
that's
like
what you
the
mean.
option
Another
being
you
either.
running around.
I just don't like the options.
I
of it.
think another me would be a pretty fashionable guy.
Actually, I think that's exactly what it needs.
Structure is the
I know-
backbone for any person.
I've seen the weird crypt and cowl and the makeup and
Not a fan of anything outside the tent, eh, magician?
okay, I don't know why you keep bringing up the tent. It's a nice tent.
I'm saying you have no little room to judge about my nest.
Do you want us to leave now so you two
Look,
can talk?
I'm not saying that you're I'm not saying that I'm perfect.
Clearly.
Is there anybody we trust that has the
No.
time of a
Oh,
parent?
wait.
I would say we leave it here. I'm about to give it a task that I don't think it'll finish for quite a while.
It just seems if we're to treat it like a child, you're like, teach a child to not
This is also
disobey
not a
its
child,
parents. But
Mentally,
have to
it
do
is a
both.
child, but physically, it seems to be more
It's a whole
capable.
can of worms
Yeah,
that we're
it's-
opening. How about this? How about we inspect the shack first and see if this dwarf needs our help?
If you want, we could potentially
Yeah.
leave somebody behind. It's just, I feel out of the two unknowns right now, we have something actively killing people and one that we are debating whether or not it will.
And we do have a mutual friend with quite a bit of resources that may be able to help.
I thought you didn't like him.
Not that one.
Oh,
I think he's talking about Kite.
Yes.
We could have,
I also thought he was talking.
if we wanted to, we could possibly put
That would not
The-
be a mutual friend.
the
That's why I was surprised.
rattling with Kite for safe overwatch.
Actually, for a bit, I'd like to keep him here.
I barely
Okay.
even know Kite.
Well, who better to know how to handle someone who was formerly a slave?
He was a slave like a week ago, so
They're very similar.
I was a slave a few months ago. I mean,
and here you are, not as rich as Kite.
not even close. I'd like to say I was better friends with Raiji, but whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it seems with I had Diego roll esoteric lore, kind of just quickly. With what you've read about androids and everything you know, they have free will. This whole like following directives things definitely will work to a point. Absolutely. Like there'll come a time where like the directive is in place so that he has no choice other than to be molded into whatever is giving him the orders into. But there will come a time where not necessarily like a switch is flipped, but it almost reminds you. It kind of feels like something that only knows. Like I know as people, it's kind of hard to distill down. It reminds you. It kind of feels like something that doesn't really know that is even a possibility, and it could learn that and then do things.
I do not explain that.
Okay, word. That's not to say that it'll like do bad things when it does that. I mean, ideally, it's taught to not do before that happens or something like that, right? But yeah,
I don't add that to the discussion at this point.
But Diego, I think you're right. I mean, we should go check out if that dwarf is still there.
Agreed.
I just food for thought. Perhaps just because something has obeyed us for a day or two does not mean it'll stay that way.
I'm not saying I trust this creature.
Undoubtedly. I'm just saying, we had the discussion. Let's go save this dwarf.
Or
I suppose.
Investigate.
I wonder why that was being protected by vampires. Of all things.
And if they were being protected, why did they stray from their goal? Were they so stricken with hunger? That kind of seems like what it might have been.
Might have been stumbling
Looking
on
for
something.
Eamon?
Yeah, it could have also been that we were stumbling upon something that this woman did not want us to find.
I mean, if this woman's a vampire, then she knows.
I don't believe she's a vampire.
She didn't look it.
I touched on it a little bit last time. As you, unless there is a piece of this puzzle that is not yet even known of, Renistir, to you it seems pretty cut and dry that these vampires were malnourished and the only healthy people in the immediate area that they were told to watch were in Sanctuary. Not even talking about the four of you. I mean, obviously not you, because you like negative energy. It like literally Sanctuary and Kier, the people in there are the only people that get medical attention here and get well fed.
To my knowledge, is there any type of undead that would be able to mask its blood in a way that something like a spawn would be attracted to its blood? Because he picked up on me being undead right away.
If she was already
I think you
with
mentioned
his head,
I think you mentioned that earlier, that it was even if it was hidden.
You could mask it, you could not become
tasty.
Appetizing.
Okay.
The only caveat to that is you're already aware that mind-altering magic might be involved.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm just establishing that before I
possibility.
say this to Eamon.
Outside of that, you can appear not undead. A vampire is going to not be like you're tasty.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't believe that this woman is a vampire, judging by how the spawn reacted to reminiscing on her scent and blood. So if there is a vampire involved, she either took its place or is in league with it.
Yeah, it also is worth noting Diego and Eamon, magic boys, who rolled earlier. I mean, there's literally magic that can change people's memories, can modify memories.
That's why I'm kind of like...
Yeah, not to say that is the case. It's just like you're aware that stuff's out
part
there.
Part of the downtime was learning higher level mind-altering spells for me. So diving into that, it's like, yeah, it could literally be anything. We should find out. I'm going to start packing up my little... I don't want...
What time is it?
Did you...
Like in-game?
It's like close to the middle of the night. Actually, probably not even. It's like early night. Probably like because the sun was just setting when everybody had kind of got there, and then the vamps and then everything, and you guys came back. You waited an hour. It's probably like 9:30, 10.
I would keep in the prophet gear then.
Okay. Did you, Renistir and Eamon, you guys were talking about something?
Yeah. Did you have something to say? I thought you were talking about the vampire.
It was about you,
mercy.
yeah.
The only mercy that creature had at this point. He, unfortunately, with how undead are created, he very much was in a position that Kubo was in.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I wasn't. I was never trying to convince you not to do what you did.
It's more so that keeping him alive would have been a liability if he were to escape. I don't know how I'd be able to reconcile letting him go off and kill someone else.
So I wanted to leave it up to you.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Just wanted to rationalize that.
I'm gonna start packing up my I forget what it's called in this game. Not the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
forget what
couldn't
it's
find
called
it
too.
in my sheets. But Light Rider.
Yep.
I'm gonna start packing up my Light Rider into my bag.
Okay. Yeah, just a
Magic
quick
camera.
Since we're getting into undead again, a quick reminder on undead. Like almost all undead, since they're tied to the negative energy plane, they like have this unending hunger for something. For zombies, it's as basic as like just consuming anything. Vampires, it's blood. That one, Ishi, it's gambling. Like it's an uncontrollable compulsion for them, which is why you're such an anomaly, because you don't have that. Does someone argue? Maybe it's getting rid of corruption is your compulsion. That is what that is. It's just on a lesser, like you're not like, oh, I haven't hit a vile creature yet today.
I don't know. I think I literally said that line in the first season.
Yeah, you did. But yeah. So what is we telling Umbra to do?
Yeah, we'll go over to Umbra.
Okay.
And I'll grab like my notebook and I'll put it on the alchemy station.
Okay.
Here is all of my notes on an individual we met that is suffering from lycanthropy. While I'm gone, I want you to try to figure out as many theories as you can on how to cure it.
Do you have an explanation on lycanthropy?
It's in the notes.
Affirmative.
Everything you need is in here. I hope.
Permission to... Did you all tell him your names?
I don't think so.
Maybe he's
think
heard
so.
them. I mean, he was hanging out
Yeah.
around us while we were talking for a while.
He's definitely heard Diego Naaman, I think. Register? Maybe not. I don't know.
He points over to the pile of religious texts.
What about those?
Permission to speak to the owner about their contents at some point.
Of course. I don't know if we'll do it right now, but maybe when we get back.
I will get to work.
Also, just another thing. If I'm not around, Rannister, I'll point to the lizard. You can always listen to him, too.
Affirmative. What about the other two? What is the chain of command?
If it's not me, then it's Rannister, Eamon, and D.
Affirmative.
Above
Put me
Diego.
in the chain of command.
If a
I
Jin
had to.
shows up,
Yeah.
Don't listen to the genie.
Raiji, Diego.
Don't tell him anything.
if he's riding a lizard, listen to that lizard first.
Basil.
Basil?
Queen Basil.
He's come back and he's feeding Basil grapes.
Any
This
other,
is what she told me to do.
Any other questions?
He just shakes his head.
All right, good luck.
Maybe when we get back, he can read my book, too.
Hey,
Hold on, I'm touching up my eye makeup. I smeared a bit.
I'll walk over to Rannister real quick.
Okay.
Don't look as scary. What? I'm tough.
One of these days, it might actually be a good idea to have him go help cure.
It's not a bad idea. He
could
could definitely
actually-
use a hand around here.
Well, he could also learn how to talk to people.
I'd like to. I thought I heard something. Was he near us when he's asked that?
Yeah, it's all one room.
Okay.
Yeah.
I overheard he wants to talk about my religious texts.
Yeah.
Maybe we have that talk before he interacts with the populace.
That's fair.
Give him some morality.
Their bodies are corrupted with alcohol.
I'll make him
I'll rip
based
it out.
and red-pilled.
Ah, fuck.
No vigilanteism, though.
I need a sidekick. Look at these tights I got for him.
That's so cute.
There's even a hole for his tail. I put consideration into this.
Did you sew that?
No.
He
Well,
was
let's be
born
honest.
an hour ago.
He's not a
Well,
robin. He's
yeah,
a rat.
Who do you think it was for then?
Okay, you pick up a cup.
That took you a bit.
He told me he wouldn't wear it.
Yeah, so you guys are heading to the shack?
On the way there, Eamon would talk to Diego. Just ask, do you know anything about the Tao family?
Can Can I roll something for that?
Yeah, you can roll.
I've
Of course
lived
I
here.
do.
You ask Eamon.
Society with a +4 circumstance.
Do I?
Yeah, this guy I was talking to looked just like you.
It is recalling knowledge, so could I use esoteric lore?
Yeah, I'll allow it. Because like all of your stories you've gathered from getting from people through this city. and
So
the
with a
tower board.
+4 circumstance?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, 32.
Word. Yeah. I have told you guys already a decent amount about the Tau. They're kind of like the cleric, not in the term of like the class, but like the cleric, the priestly, the worshiper, like noble family of Grimm. They like are the heads of that church and such, or those followers. At one point, it was kind of alluded to they might have had an affiliation with the Kari, but that's probably more so just they're both associated with Grimm. The Kari are actually directly under, to some degree, the Akio family. It's a different family. One of the other three main families. Tau being one of the main three. Tau, Akio. Can't remember the name of the other one. It's the most important one, though. Go me. The only other thing that you would really be able to add to that from being here is that the Tau are pretty generally well looked upon. Getting like a job working at the Tau estate is like the best job anyone in like service could get, whether they're like a servant or a cook or whatever. They have a much better reputation when it comes to the average folk than the Akio family. That's really all you can.
Yeah. They've got a great reputation. Great to work for. Really snooty about it, you know. Like to rub it in people's faces. All that fun stuff.
I guess the only other thing is that you would know the members specifically. There's Naito Tau, who's technically not the head of the family, but does a lot of the face work, so to speak, like appears at events and stuff like that.
I only ask because in the past, a member of the family's expressed interest in Renestier, and it's a little unnerving.
That's because they follow Grimm.
Yes, and
They probably
Our
hate him.
yeah. So, it's just something to know about. I don't know. Makes me a little uneasy.
I can see that. But, I mean, what kind of interest have they shown? Have they been following him, or?
Weird. I mean, there's been communication trying to summon him to their estate. Other than that, I don't really know much at all, but I don't know.
As long as he doesn't lure him into a dungeon or a back alley, I think you're probably fine, but...
Okay.
The head of house is Kumatsu, all last name Tau. Her husband is dead. He was the head of house for a time. Only thing you would know about it is he died of a strange illness pretty long time ago.
Is she bald?
No. I mean, she could be. She could change her hair. And Uchido, which is Naito's sister, Kumatsu's daughter, obviously. She, especially because you're in touch with kind of the magic side of the city, she is a powerful mage to some degree. She studies at the Battle Mages college that's right by the palace.
I'd probably be even as they're having this conversation. I have that like pendant, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd just
Their
be like,
symbol is a black butterfly.
I'd be like looking at it, just deep in thought.
Well, you know, there's always the rumors about Komatsu and all that.
Yeah. As this conversation's going, I'm starting a lead on, or like whatever it is, on Naito.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Anything else you guys want to talk about or do while you head to the shack?
Did you have any
We
other
talked
questions about the Taos? I could explain a lot.
No, I just know if they follow Grim, things they might be aware of is undeadish things in the city. So, if we have a connection,
It's true.
if
Sort of
looked into very carefully, might be able to be used.
yes, some leverage.
Leverage, says ye.
All right, that's it. That's all I got.
Wonderful. Yeah, it takes you about 10, 15 minutes to get there. Yeah, it's a 10-foot square wooden shack, slightly elevated like all the other ones, out of the stagnant water, shoddy wooden door, just 2 windows kind of facing the street, boarded up against the plateau's cliff face. As you turn the corner and get within probably like 60 feet of it, Eamon, for a brief moment, your vision slightly tints red while you look at the shack, and then it goes away. And you're confident there's some kind of nasty spirit in there. I rolled a nat 20 for your first, well, not your first, but
Yeah.
for the spirit sense.
I'll just kind of stop everyone. And you see my eyes glowing gold just a little bit. And say, there's some sort of dark spirit or haunt in there.
A haunt, you say?
Yes.
What happened?
I don't know.
How did you sense it?
I just know how to do that. It's part of my magic as it grows. I'm aware of haunts and spirits.
Interesting.
I'm just gonna raise my flamethrower. So should we just burn it down?
No.
No.
Too much attention.
We could try to sneak in. I hold out my shrinking potion.
That's certainly a way to do that.
I would switch out my scorpion whip for the chain one
That doesn't necessarily mean violent. It
Okay.
just means
because it's ghost touch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it might just be because I don't know.
Maybe we could negotiate with the spirit.
Let
If you
them
guys,
make negotiations.
anybody
Just-
can roll occultism, religion, or esoteric lore.
Crafting.
Diego? No.
Gotta
It's a
roll
plus
with
12, right?
With
But you roll plus 4 circumstance.
first floor, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a plus
Hey, Mom.
12 for me, right? Because it's haunt.
Yeah, just your full plus, yeah.
I'm rolling so fucking good on
occultism
these
or
rolls.
nature. You said
Occultism or religion.
religion. Okay,
A religion, you say?
It wasn't-
25.
It wasn't good. Got like a 13.
25 for religion.
28.
Damn you.
Word.
Damn you and your magic.
Both of you in your time in the Rinister, you long, deep memory of when you were training with Lark, when you first kind of came to as you are now. And you, Diego.
At a bar.
Yep. There is a, not common, but common enough that it's talked about, like that it's happened multiple times. It's one of the easier ways to coerce a spirit to do your bidding. Specifically the vision turning red thing. There's a way to, normally tied to a place or an object, bring a spirit forth that will gouge its eyes out, and anyone who views that also has that effect happen to them. Both of you feel pretty confident that that's what you're dealing with. You don't, like, it's hard to tell without further knowledge if it's like on the place, if it's on an item in the place, but something like that along those lines. It might not be exactly that, but definitely something close to that.
So if we witness this thing, we'll attempt to gouge our own eyes out?
Yeah. Yes. Wait, what did you say?
If we witness the thing that this is tied to, we'll attempt to gouge our own eyes out?
Or is it just you're blinded?
It will gouge out its eyes, and then what it did to itself will happen to those who witnessed it, depending on a save.
Is
Obviously.
there a? Can I roll perception to see if there's a small bird-sized hole in the building at all?
Yeah, for sure. Go for it. There's 2 known ways of stopping it that you've heard of. If you can speak to the spirit before it goes, you can, normally they're sentient enough that you can convince it to not do that. Normally spirits don't want to gouge their own eyes out. Or if you're adept enough in religious practices, you can ward yourself against it.
I could try talking to it.
I also have farsight. Does that give me anything?
It's not super far away.
I don't know.
I mean, you'd have to
I
cast
rolled
it.
speaks
a
common.
natural 20.
But, okay, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely, it's shoddy enough. A bird could get in there.
I can get eyes inside without risking us have to going in. I
Might
have
be for
this.
the best.
I
Well,
hold up.
let's get a visual and
Go from there.
yes.
I hold up a periscope as well as other things, but I put that away and you see me scoop some of that like sludge mud from the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gross.
You have to wash your hands.
And as I hold my staff from kind of the like top of it, you see this sort of like magical stirring in form of my hand, and up forms this like small bird, kind of glowing with this blue magic and small haze around it, and it just kind of like flits away.
Yeah, and you wanted to go to the
Yeah.
look in the building.
Work its way into the building and look.
Do you want it to try to do it quietly, unnoticed?
I would prefer that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how this stuff works. So I
Yeah,
don't know if it
I
like
guess it
sees a
doesn't really
bird, it's
have
like,
that
oh
function.
no.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, pretty quickly, it's just checking out the shack. So it kind of does a circle around it and then kind of slips in through one of the boards. And then would fly.
It's a small sparrow also.
Yeah, and then would fly back and land on your shoulder, Eamon.
Its eyes are gone.
And like, and like I said, you don't have to get the knowledge from it.
It has
by-
all of my senses and my perception modifier. Just so.
Okay,
You know.
word.
So
Why don't
it's-
you roll
it's-
perception for
It's
it?
pretty good as far as like all that goes. Gonna use a coin.
Gonna use a coin.
That's the same roll, 5 and a 5. So that'll be 16.
Yeah. Well, it comes, perches on your shoulder. Do you want it to go with the theme that you have to drink its blood to get what it saw, or do you want to do it a different way?
We'll say you see it land on my hand, and I kind of look around. You see me wring its neck, and then pour the sort of like mud fluid into the top of my staff, and it sort of goes into the tear and imbues it.
Okay, word. Perfect. Yes.
Ugh.
I know. I wish it didn't have to be like that, but it's a new thing.
The bird comes back and he's like, "I'm back, Dad. I love you." Ah!
Yeah, so
you could have drank it.
the room...
Could have been.
You
Could have been
wasted
worse.
good
That
mud.
would have been metal.
Yeah,
If it
the
was
shack's,
different mud from a different ward, maybe.
shack's completely empty except for two what look like shoddily made wooden coffins laying on the ground in the middle of the room. There is an unconscious dwarf slumped up, kind of just like in a heap, clearly unconscious, still breathing, just unconscious in the corner. And there is the only really thing of note other than just basic clothing on the dwarf is there is a translucent ring around the dwarf's left middle finger, appears to be seemingly filled with blood. It's pretty easy to identify that that's probably where the spirit is bound to. The ring, that is.
You said the dwarf looks sleeping or unconscious?
Well, like,
Hard to say.
not in distress. At the very least. Unharmed and not in distress.
So with this spell, do we have to see it then? Like, if I were to cover my eyes, would I know if that would prevent me from having it happen?
Yeah.
There's a chance.
If you knew it was coming. The issue is you don't really know what triggers it. And it can happen in the blink
but
of an
potentially,
eye.
couldn't we like get in there and try to talk to it out, like coerce it out of the ring to
for
talk
sure.
to it? I think maybe if we were to go up to the shack,
I can force it out of the ring.
yeah, I just don't want to run the risk of, well, you know.
Yeah.
I could go have a conversation with it.
I would relay all. Yes, we never did this. I relay all of that to you.
So,
The dwarf in there with the ring on its finger looks like it's filled with blood.
Diego, if you're okay taking this risk, we can follow in blindfolded if you wish to just.
If it has the ability to detect things like vampires, you might be able to convince it you're there to protect it, Renister.
As the
I'm
only,
not the most coercing outside the fear.
Your blood's convincing, not your manner.
as the only one that can actually speak Necril, I should probably be there as well.
Why do you think it can speak Necrol? The last one spoke Dwarvish.
It's
That
true.
is true. But I've also met a spirit that speaks Necril.
Yeah.
We also don't know. what
all
language
the
it could
spirits
speak.
are the same. Racist.
Yes.
I thought they
And
all
no.
made you gouge your eyes out.
Spirits are
Spiritist.
different racists.
Spiritist.
I'm being educated every day.
We could always try to just slip in and get the ring off its finger.
It can happen in a blink of an eye. No pun intended.
How about this? You guys direct me towards the shack. I'll close my eyes, walk there, and keep my eyes closed and have the conversation outside.
And what if he speaks Necril?
Then we'll wing it. What if he doesn't speak Necrol?
I mean,
You.
you already wandered into a witch's
said,
lair
what
and
if he
came out
doesn't
okay.
speak?
Oh, they said who doesn't?
No.
All right.
A lot of people.
Everyone.
Yeah. Necrol's common.
It's like the Spanish of Wakuzana.
Necrol's in these days. So.
I'll keep an eye on you while you do it with the periscope.
Okay.
Hopefully that doesn't...
I will stand by the door just in case.
Of the shack?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought you were saying you're going to sneak up
Yeah, I thought
close to the shack yourself.
just to the shack.
None of you are close to the shack yet.
Yeah, I know. I was going to walk to the shack, but not go
So
inside.
we're all going to the
Well,
shack.
I'm not
I don't
going
think he's
inside.
going inside
Yeah.
either.
Oh, you're
He's
trying
gonna
to talk.
stand
Oh,
outside
okay. I
and try to
missed
talk
that
him
part.
out.
That's my bad.
While he talks him
That was
out,
the idea.
could I go up with him and look through like a
Why don't we all just go up
crack
to
or
the
a
shack?
peek in the door with my periscope?
You might be able to sense me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, because if this goes south, I'd rather us be close than far away.
We also don't know what the trigger is, so it could even be that if we get near it,
I close my eyes
I
and
could
start
also-
walking
I
towards
could
the
just
shack.
send sulfur in to grab
I'll
it.
hold your shoulder and walk with you, so you know where you're
moving
walking.
it might be the trigger.
I have a cane.
Okay.
That doesn't.
So everyone's going up
You're
the
not
shack?
blind.
Yeah, I'd stand at a distance to
You
let
wander
Diego.
down the next alley.
Yeah, fuck it.
I'll let Diego cook.
Okay. Well, hold on. Let him cook.
I'm not saying all spirits. Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
I'll go with
So-
Diego and just hold his shoulder and guide him towards the door, and
Okay.
then have my pull my periscope out and put it around the corner when he walks in. So
Okay.
I can
Well,
see.
I don't think he's going in. Right?
Yeah, again, I'm not
He's
going
not going
inside.
I
in.
still want to see that.
I push Diego inside. No.
Because if I see some shit glowing or whatever, getting weapons ready, we can prepare for that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So-
So you're up at the door.
Up there?
Do you want to
Eyes
get all the
closed.
way to the door?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Eyes closed.
You walk up the couple steps.
Eyes closed, head bowed.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously there's no...
Hello there. If I don't hear anything right away, I do knock.
Okay.
Do I see anything stir?
Nope, nothing happens.
He's not moving.
Do you send
Is it a-
sulfur in and grab the ring?
It's just like I do one thing, and you're like,
I-
Plan B.
I know.
We blow up
I'm
the
well
shack.
aware.
Anyway, how big was the shack? Pretty small.
Yeah, it's like
It's
20
not like
feet.
you can't hear me.
I can
Yeah, it's definitely not. I can't hear. I mean, you know enough about spirits. I'll give you like a little cookie crumb. You might need to like obviously these vampires probably talked while they're in there. You need to make it clear you are addressing the spirit. Probably.
I use
The name, the
I
name,
use
the
the
name.
bullhorn cantrip
Okay.
to make myself my voice boom, and I say, "Spirit, hello."
Okay. Why don't you roll diplomacy?
Next door, a neighbor's like, "Shut up out there!"
20.
Okay. All of you see a flash of red light.
Do I see anything inside
Are you looking in?
with my periscope?
Okay. If you see it, it'll try to gouge its eyes out.
It sees a periscope, not me. The whole
Oh, yeah, periscope's the
I
thing
can't
you can
cast
look at an
magic through a
angle.
periscope
Yeah,
either.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
get
the
what
only
you're
reason
saying.
I'm using
yeah,
it.
Yeah, yeah, that's smart. Yes, yeah. You see the through a crack, the ethereal visage of a young woman clad in a black gown. She's like kind of hovering above the dwarf that's unconscious. She holds a dull knife, two of them in each hand. And she just like looks around.
Does she look like the woman we've had described to us or no?
No.
Okay.
Looks human.
I'm
young.
outside.
It begins to slowly drift towards the door.
I would very much not like to not gouge my eyes out,
Okay.
and so I'm being very cautious.
Roll diplomacy.
You start crying.
That's his heart
This
stopping.
might be a coin thing.
Yeah, I'll use a coin. It's like, I don't know. Well, that's way better. So 28.
28.
Yeah.
You say that, and Eamon, you see this almost like calming smile kind of brush across the woman's face. Something about what he said or the way he said it seemed to make her, like all of the strength of the grip of her that she had, and the knives kind of like loosens and they drop, and as they hit the floor, you hear nothing, and she just dissipates.
She seems to be gone. Is the ring still? Can I roll Arcana to see if the ring?
Yeah, all
Still
of you
looks
have
imbued with
rolled high
magic.
enough in this. This is probably there's probably like a timer on this. She's like good for now. It'll probably be reset at some point. Most of the time, it's at least hours, if not a day or days.
You should be fine for a while. She's gone.
You can, if
Do you want me to go in first?
No,
Once-
I'll go.
if you
Okay.
have like possession of the ring, you could conceivably like get rid of this effect from it, unless you guys want it for the sanctuary.
Pay attention to the dwarf first.
Well, would you like
We're
to
out of
follow
those
me?
flasks.
Yeah.
I might as well both go in.
Close
I
up
just
my
I just
periscope.
look over to the other two, and I just give a thumbs up, and we walk in.
I say okay right next
I have
to
my
you.
hands over my eyes. Did he give the signal?
Wonderful. While you have your hands
Like a
over
good
your
cop.
eyes, Renister, you hear in your head what sounds like Lark speaking. It says, "This is Lark, friend of mine in Coy, needs our orders, expertise. Go to Great Assembly Hall, ask for Eardell. He's expecting you soon."
in Koi.
Wakuzana.
I just start running in the direction of Coin.
I'm so
Go to the
sorry.
locomotive station.
When I wrote
I'm
that,
so late.
when I wrote that sending,
I get on a bike.
It's supposed to say Wakuzana. Fuck.
Can you read it again?
Yeah. This is Lark, friend of mine in Wakuzana, needs our orders expertise. It's because I was doing the season 1 recap, so I was writing Koi so much. Our orders, friend of mine in Wakuzana needs our orders expertise. Go to Great Assembly Hall. Ask for Eardell. He's expecting you soon. You know that is the name of the head of the Arcane Assembly, the luminary of the Arcane
Everyone
Assembly.
wants a piece of the lizard man today, I guess.
We keep getting side quests.
You can respond with a 25-word message of your own in your head if you so wish.
I'll just say
BRB.
I'll just new phone. Who this? No.
Hello?
new-
25 times.
Is this thing on?
Age, sex, location. I would just say it will be done
Okay. Word.
with asterisk Russian accent.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of like a signature on an email. I can't get rid of it. Like
Yeah.
damn
yeah,
it.
yeah. So yeah, you guys walk in.
I walk in.
Nothing happens when you guys walk in immediately, at least.
I go to grab the ring.
Okay, yeah.
I go to treat wounds on the dwarf, if
Okay.
there are any.
Can I? Why don't you make a medicine check
Oh, he's already in.
to just like inspect him real quick? The ring just comes off. Seems inert.
I'm gonna stand
For
at the
now.
door and just keep a watch out.
Okay, yeah.
So you said that we rolled high enough, so we
Nat
know
20.
that. Oh, nice. That we could dissipate the effect. Is that getting rid of the effect for the spirit? Like,
It's
would the
like-
spirit
so-
still be in the ring?
No. It's kind of like it's kind of like most undead type things. Like this spirit has been either stopped from going to the afterlife or pulled from the afterlife to do this.
Mhm.
Getting rid of it would like release them to the boneyard.
Oh.
I mean, it would still be a ring with blood in it, but there would be no magical effects beyond.
Yes. Okay.
They're just being
well,
blood and
I
blood.
just didn't know if it was just like there's just a spirit that just doesn't want to gouge her eyes out now.
No, yeah.
It's,
No,
it's like
it's-
the spirit
Yeah.
would be at
she's,
peace.
She's some sort of. This is
so
normally
it'd be
not
like what we
something
did with the
that's-
stones,
with the stones.
the orbs, whatever it was the hag had.
Oh yes, kind of like a soul is trapped to
Mhm.
do this. Yes, this is not a good thing normally that is being done. It's like
force against her
yeah.
will. Sort of thing.
in Diego, you rolled high enough to know that she feels it every time. Every time she's done this, it hurts as bad. She catches her eyes out.
I would immediately I don't know what I have to do, but I would immediately try to dissipate it.
Yeah, religion or occultism. Renister could help if he so wishes.
I can. Yeah.
That's kind of if you want to make a religion check.
Cool.
I assume you're rolling religion.
Yes.
Not.
Occultism's not my
Yes.
forte.
You could actually do necromancy lore if you wish.
This poor
If it's not-
Yeah,
if
hot-
if it's never higher, if you have the option to roll a lore, the DC is
Yeah,
always lower.
okay.
It's always statistically
Lore it is.
better for you to roll lore.
not if you roll in that one. Coin.
Okay, that would have given you a minus.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay. Yeah. Much better. 24.
Plus 2 circumstance.
So +2, it's a 22.
Yeah, any specific flavor you want to give to how you do that, or doesn't have to be
No, I think I don't know.
kind of like psychometric resonance.
Yeah, kind of. Eyes go
Yeah.
black, but it's almost like it's the reverse. Like it's going into my
Yeah.
hand with psychometric resonance, but it's going out and you can just see it dissipating.
And how I help is I have a catcher's mitt to catch the spirit as it shoots out.
No, you're supposed to let it go.
Oh, I got her.
I'm using my hands like shock paddles.
Give me your
eye.
eyes.
Yeah.
Is that how this
So
works?
the dwarf, Eamon's inspecting the dwarf. It seems to be he seems to be totally fine, unconscious, unnaturally so for sure. Like he doesn't, no movement, no feeling when you knock it. Like
I dispel
a couple
magic?
of slaps. Yeah, 1 second. Doesn't seem like a spell. Probably something more akin to a condition or disease or illness. Though again, no physical warning
I
signs
almost
of that
took
in any
remove
way.
disease. Dang it.
He appears to be in a state of almost suspended animation. Like it doesn't. You're pretty confident he does not need to eat or drink, and he will be fine. It's quite odd. Hearing that, esoteric lower boy. Well, actually, you haven't divulged any of that. Hold on.
It's okay. There's been a few things that are just like, oh, I tell you that.
Yeah.
I would just be like, he's in some kind of suspended state of sleep, non-magical.
Well, it's definitely magical.
Well,
Doesn't seem like a spell.
So I can still dispel magic if it's still magic.
Oh no, you're right. Sorry. Well, it could be magical. Doesn't seem like something you could dispel. More of like a condition or an effect.
Is this ringing any alarm bells for me on like
I don't know what's a roll
occultism?
for that.
What about with the
Only
25?
2 people can roll. Diego can roll esoteric lore, and you can roll
25.
vampire lore.
Oh, okay.
You got
What-
25?
What about engineering lore?
No. You get
Crafting.
plus 4 circumstance.
He's an
I'm
oracle.
going to
Oracle
use
lore.
Guided by the Stars.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
He gets a plus
Is-
4?
Yeah, he gets a plus 4, not you.
Is this poorly constructed house?
You can see the stars. It doesn't matter though. You already have a plus 4.
In my heart, that +1 means something. to me.
Okay.
Okay. I think the +4 will help. Let's see.
Well, it does.
16.
Helps by 4.
16.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's gonna be a decent amount of explaining. Promise I'll get at the point. There's 3 ancient vampire bloodlines. There's more than that many bloodlines, but there's 3 ancient ones that are the most powerful bloods. There's the Nosferatu, the Vetelorana, and the Strigoi. The Nosferatu are the oldest vampires in existence, so old that they've lost the ability to pass on the bloodline conventionally. The vampire spawn gave the party some answers, but they ultimately ended up leaving them with even more questions. Who is this bald woman? Why did she task 2 vampire spawn with protecting an unconscious dwarf? Is Sanctuary really safe? All of this and more, next time on Dying 5.
If you enjoyed today's episode, consider leaving us a review on whatever platform you listen on. We'd love to hear your feedback. And if anyone in your life just can't get enough tabletop RPG action, send them our way. If tabletops have taught me anything, it's that good stories become great ones when you have some folks to share them with. And as always, thanks for listening.